Here's the recipe and instructions for delicious barbecue pork buns or char siu bao. The dough is soft, fluffy, and tender and doesn't stick to the palate of your mouth. So for the barbecue pork filling, the char siu bao filling, we will need our char siu, and this has been already made, homemade char siu, or you can just buy barbecue pork and then chop it up. We need water, and then we're going to be making a slurry. And for that slurry, we will need 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 4 tablespoons of water, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, 1 teaspoon sugar, 1 teaspoon of light soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of chopped scallions. And in the water, we're going to add a teaspoon of chicken or mushroom bouillon, or you can use chicken stock. In the saucepan, we're going to heat our chicken stock up. After the chicken stock starts to boil, we're going to add our pork. I've added some Chinese sausage and jicama to my filling as well. And make sure that your cornstarch slurry is well incorporated before adding it to your saucepan, and then stir immediately so that the cornstarch can thicken up the sauce without it gelatinizing in clumps. And once it's thickened like this, then it's ready. So you can just turn it off and allow this to cool while you make your dough. Okay, in a container, I have combined my milk and water and microwaved it and gotten it to between 105 and 115 degrees. Right now it's at 113 degrees. And it should be really warm to the touch if you don't have a digital thermometer. And to this particular water milk mixture, add 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then, even though I'm using the instant yeast, which they claim does not require dissolving in water, I'd like to add it here in order to have it start fermenting before I add it into my flour mixture. And it shouldn't take that long in order to become active. And what you're looking for are these active bubbles in the liquid as the yeast starts to interact with the sugar and ferment. So make sure you add your sugar because it needs to start eating the sugar. We're going to just let this sit while we prepare the rest of our dough. So for the rest of the dough, we will need all-purpose flour, and to this flour we will add 1 more tablespoon of sugar here, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. So you can see that with this instant yeast, it's already started to bubble up really rapidly. And I am going to now add this to my flour mixture. Every so often, use a spatula to push the unincorporated flour down until a dough ball is formed, and the texture of the dough should be like pizza dough. Okay, and after it comes to a ball, maybe about 10 minutes, then we can stop it. So now we have the dough that looks like this, so we're going to knead it. We're going to place it in our bowl and allow it to rest for an hour. After an hour of resting, the dough should be doubled in size. First, knead the dough and then roll the dough out to 1/4 inch in height. Using a round dough cutter, either 3 1/16 inch or 78 millimeters in diameter. Cut as many circles as you can with your dough. And after you remove the extra dough, re-knead it and roll it out again and cut as many circles as you can from that dough. The reason we are going to use a smaller circle is that we are going to actually roll it out more so that the edges of the circle are thinner than the center of the circle. So this will allow the dough not to be so doughy at the top when we crimp the dough and have a sufficient thickness at the base of our char siu bao. Roll the dough until it's about 4 inches in diameter. Now place your rolled circular dough in your non-dominant hand and place a generous heap of your barbecue pork or char siu filling into the center of the dough. Then, using your dominant hand, start to crimp the edges of the dough until all of the edges come together and are sealed at the top. Because the dough is very elastic, you can always pull the dough up so that it'll be able to enclose the mixture completely. Place your prepared char siu bao or barbecue pork bun on a piece of parchment paper. Then steam this for 8 to 10 minutes, preferably in a bamboo steamer. If you don't have a bamboo steamer, then make sure that the steam is not going to drip back onto your char siu bao by placing a kitchen towel over the steamer so that the steam will be absorbed by the kitchen towel rather than dripping back onto your char siu baos. Steam this for 8 to 10 minutes and enjoy this delicious char siu bao. More recipes can be found on sammywongskitchen.com or social media. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks!